More holiday travel chaos this morning, with more than 800 flights already canceled just in the U.S. Airlines blaming weather and staffing shortages caused by the Omicron variant. This week, the CDC announced new guidelines shortening the recommended isolation and quarantine periods for COVID exposures, and businesses hope it will ease the staffing crunch. But not everyone is happy, including Flight Attendants Union. Joining me now, Sara Nelson, president of the Association of Flight Attendants. It's good to have you here. You've been a vocal critic of the CDC's decision to change isolation guidelines. What's your concern?
Our concern is that this is putting all the onus on the workers. And when you put policies forward that are pro-business and not grounded in public health, it gives people reason to pause and not trust our public health requirement. And that puts flight attendants in an even graver danger as they're trying to enforce public health initiatives like the mask requirement and then facing conflict on our planes. We're also very concerned that it's not reporting that workers don't have to come to work if they are still symptomatic. So it's asymptomatic and mask wearing throughout the rest of the time. There's no requirement on businesses to put those things in place. So we need to get the word out to all workers. You should not be forced to come back to work sick and before you're fully better. People are worn out, and we've got to give them a break in order to take care of this country and keep the economy moving. This is a short-term fix that the CDC gave businesses that is going to have long-term pain.
Well, let me ask you about something Anthony Fauci said earlier. He kind of walked it back a little, but he suggested the U.S. should consider a vaccine mandate for domestic flights. What do your members think about that?
The vast majority of the people that I represent say hooray and would love to see this in place. They know that the situation that they're in at work, the combative situation, the fact that we don't have business travel back, we don't have fully restored international travel, we don't have flying like we know it, is because this pandemic is continuing and because we don't have everyone vaccinated. The hesitancy in getting vaccinated is something that needs to be pushed. And I'll be very clear, there is no way to roll this out operationally at this time because we have not kept track of vaccinations in this country like other countries have. So there's some operational issues. This shouldn't be put on the frontline workers or the airlines solely either. But it's something that needs to be on the table, and we should start working to make it work because we have got to get everyone vaccinated, and it's a workplace safety issue for us.
So I want to talk about, you really are sort of at the epicenter, a great example of this fight that we see going on, or, you know, these tough decisions about the economy, right, versus safety, public safety, the safety of workers. Are you concerned at all that if, for example, there was a vaccine mandate, you would lose customers at a time when airlines are starting to build up again, that more flights would have to be canceled because more people would be out because they have to be quarantining? How do you look at that balance?
Chris, that is absolute nonsense. The reason that we have travel demand back is because the vaccines became readily available and people felt confident to be able to book those tickets. They felt confidence in their own safety and in making sure that they're not carrying the virus to their loved ones. And that's when we saw the demand return to air travel. So putting more safety in the space is only going to increase confidence. It's going to help us end this pandemic, which is the problem in the first place. And it is going to get us back to a place where we can all travel freely. So no, I don't agree with that argument at all, because the few people that we would lose, we would gain in others who have real confidence in air travel and who are ready to get back to a free and normal life.
Well, I'll tell you, I fly a lot, including recently, and I see the pressures that are put on the crews, especially the flight attendants, day in and day out. I don't know how they do it. Sara Nelson, we thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, and for all the folks who are continuing to staff those flights. We appreciate it.
Thank a frontline worker, everyone.
Yeah.